گردهمایی بزرگ مقاومت ایران. ایران آزاد با 1000 اشرف و ارتش آزادی. پاریس، 10 تیر 1396، اول ژوئیه 2017.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm Jack Keane. I grew up in New York City, America. I was a soldier for almost 38 years. And I've been helping the United States Army for over the last 10 years. Since 1980, the mullahs have stated their strategic objective every single year: spread the Islamic Revolution throughout the region. In the last 8 years, President Obama, while I believe he committed many strategic mistakes based on false assumptions, two have had profound impact on the Middle East. One was the assumption that if the United States withdrew from the Middle East, we could still contain Islamic extremism. Number two, if we entered into a nuclear deal with Iran, it would motivate the Iranian regime to stop their aggression and their malign behavior. Both huge mistakes. A decade ago, deaths due to Islamic extremism was 3,000 to 5,000. Now they're annually 30,000. Those are war-like numbers, to be sure. Iran is on the march in the region, encouraged and financed by the nuclear deal. Make no mistake about it. Iran is building a land bridge from Iran through Iraq, through Syria, through Lebanon to the Mediterranean. It is their number one strategic objective. That is why Iran moved so quickly into Syria to prop up their client, the Assad regime. The facts are these: the Iranian generals run the civil war for the Syrian regime. They direct the ground campaign, they direct the use of Syrian air power and selected use of Russian air power in support of the ground campaign. They make up the largest forces on the ground. Their generals lead it on the ground. They have had some fairly significant casualties by the thousands, and they have had a number of generals killed as well. Their organization consists of Hezbollah, in excess of 10,000, Iraqi Shia militias by the thousands, the Quds Force, the IRGC, and also they have brought in conventional brigades on a limited scale, took high casualties, and they had to leave. They are running this war in Syria. That is the reality of it. It is due to the feckless leaders in Europe and also the same feckless leadership that the United States had when we had the opportunity to do what the Sunni Arabs wanted us to do, to join in this campaign against Assad. We said no, and the results are predictable. Obama's policies of retrenchment and disengagement, a reckless nuclear deal, has led to the election of a new American president who had no political experience, but spoke to the American people advocating American populism. He was elected because people felt bad about what was happening inside America and also felt bad about what America was doing outside America. 10 days after Trump assumes office in the White House, the Iranians test him. They conduct ballistic missile testing in violation of the UN resolution. Trump does not wring his hands. He does not issue a bunch of rhetoric. He immediately confronts the regime. He sanctions the regime, and he tells them further aggressive and malign behavior by your regime beyond missile testing, we will confront you. This is a new president and a different government in America, and you have had other Americans talk to you about this. This is a good thing in my view. Just a few weeks ago, President Trump demonstrated the beginning, I think, of the execution of his foreign policy. We don't know for sure what his overall strategy is because he hasn't written it down, but they are writing it down. What we do know is he has a very strong national security team around him. He went to the Middle East a few weeks ago and had an historic visit. This is what made it historic. He had 55 leaders from the entire region sitting in front of him in Riyadh when he stood up and said this, and it's almost a quote: "The number one strategic threat to you and to your people and to this region is Iran." Many of us have talked about an Arab NATO for a number of years, and he started speaking about it. He said, we must partner together. We must stand together in an alliance against this evil regime. So, in conclusion, that has led me to a couple of observations. One is I'm hopeful and optimistic for two reasons. One is the resistance is growing not only in size and scale, but in determination, dedication, and conviction. And that is a credit to you and to all others who are a part of this movement. And second, the United States government, who has already declared the Quds Force a foreign terrorist organization. I know for a fact that under consideration, and I think what will eventually happen, is that the Trump government will declare the IRGC a terrorist organization. The United States government will no longer appease or accommodate Iran, but will confront Iran. The United States government will not permit Iran to have nuclear weapons with ballistic missiles, which is not only a threat to the region, but a threat to world peace. The United States government knows Iran, while it should be confronted, is not capable of fundamental change. The United States government knows Iran is evil to its core. The United States government, in my judgment, will support the people of Iran to change the regime. Free Iran, and God bless you.
Grazie mille cari amici, sono commosso da questa accoglienza. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. Madam President Mariam Rajavi, distinguished guests, and dear friends, we have heard from you a very passionate appeal tonight to the Iranian people and to all nations of the world. And the message has been and will be: multiply your efforts to bring back freedom, truth, social justice, human dignity to Iran. And this is exactly the message that this very distinguished representation of the Italian Parliament, the member of the Italian Parliament who came here tonight to express to all of you, to all the Iranians in the country and abroad, and especially to the Iranians who have been suffering and will still be suffering. They are suffering for the lack of freedom and respect of human rights, to express the warmest friendship and solidarity to the country and to the resistance. This delegation is composed by people, by members of parliament who have addressed just a few days ago an important appeal to the government. An appeal which says the government, the Italian government, must strongly condemn the 1988 massacre and hinge any relation with Iran on stopping all executions. The Italian government must call on the United Nations to place on their agenda launching probes into this massive crime of 1988 and to send perpetrators to justice. These are the members of parliament who are here with you tonight, who are moving the works of the Italian assemblies in this direction and to encourage the government to do so. The time to bring back freedom and social justice and human dignity is right now. It is right now because a new geopolitical reality is unfolding rapidly within and around the country. And this splendid gathering tonight is a clear sign that change will come soon. Iran people are furiously crying for justice and freedom. They will neither forget nor forgive the 1988 massacre of political prisoners. The Iranian resistance is escalating, therefore, its activities inside Iran. Mullahs feel the danger. The presidential election has deepened the regime's internal crisis. And the Assembly of Experts has issued statements which are self-explanatory, and I quote, "In Islam, there is no talk of people's vote or demand and opinion other than the velayat." This makes a mockery, a clear mockery of any election in that country under this present regime. There are no pretexts to recognize the mullah's farce. Recent landmark researches on democracy in Iran have led to one overarching conclusion: that a peaceful evolution to a more human system in the Islamic Republic of Iran isn't in the cards. Iran is moving toward greater internal oppression and foreign wars, and they will produce even more convulsive internal dissent. World leaders should look to the Iranian people, should look first and foremost to the Iranian people, to your compatriots and to friends abroad, to the expatriate community, and they should stand, the world leaders and especially the European leaders, they should stand with them. They should support the Iranian resistance, the freedom and human dignity the Iranians are striving for. The message to the mullah must be more than before. It is time for them to go. Thank you.
Is my unique perspective talking about how Iran destabilized Iraq during my time there. But before I begin, I can't tell you how moving it was for me personally to see the people of Ashraf free, safe, and prosperous. A commitment was made in 2004, and we were finally able to deliver on it with the support of the Albanian government and the courage and perseverance of a lot of people. So to all the people of Ashraf in Tirana, it's wonderful to see you. Back to Iran. And, you know, from the moment that I went in there, it was clear to me that Iran's objective was to stop the Iraqi people from building a free, democratic society that respected the rights of all of Iraq's ethnic and sectarian groups. And I watched them as they bought political support by contributing to Iraqi politicians and political organizations. I watched as they built public support by providing economic aid to communities in the southern part of the country. And I watched as they actively trained Shia militias and fomented sectarian violence that swept Iraq from 2006 to 2007. There can be no doubt that Iran was the principal accelerant of that sectarian violence, and that they are directly responsible for the deaths of hundreds of coalition forces and thousands of Iraqis. Later that year, that same year, we caught them red-handed. We caught 6 Quds Force members in a safe house actively plotting to subvert Iraq. They had maps on the wall with color-coded areas of Baghdad for the different sectarian groups. And they had arrows where they intended to forcefully move populations from one area to the other. Iran was conducting terrorism inside of Iraq, and the Quds Force, the Republican Guards, was the vehicle that they were using to make that happen. So my experience tells me that they're not done, that this regime will continue to export terror and foment sectarian violence to accomplish their political objectives around Iraq, in Syria, in Yemen, and in Lebanon. And countries that use terror to achieve their political objectives are threats not only to their internal populations, but to the international community at large. And today, no government that supports and exports terror can become a productive player in our world. Change must come to Iran. Thank you.
Good evening to the freedom-loving people of Iran, both here and in Albania. Much has been spoken at this conference about the idea of regime change. Much more has been written about it in the weeks leading up. And what I'd like to do with the few moments I have available with you is take sort of the pragmatic military man approach in conjunction with my good friend George here, and try to answer a couple of very pertinent questions. What does regime change look like, and how do you know that you will be successful? What must you do to be successful? And whether or not that change comes 3 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, those questions will remain the same, and they must be addressed. In order to try to help answer those questions, I want to tell you a short story. In 1979, I was a young Marine captain assigned to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And many of you people were not born in 1979, I accept that, but nevertheless, some of those of you who were remember that was the time of the rebellion against the Shah. And I watched that nightly news every night with great interest in terms of what was going to be the outcome in your country. One night in particular, a newscaster said, "You've got to see this footage. Watch closely what happens here." And the film showed a squad of Iranian soldiers with their rifles sweeping a street of what they would have called dissidents. And at one point, one of the Iranian soldiers corners a young man in a door facing, and he's beating him with the butt of his rifle. Another soldier, maybe from here to the wall, turns, looks around, and shoots him twice in the back. And the soldier in the doorway obviously falls dead. At that point, the reporter comes in and says, this may be critical. If the army is turning, the Shah cannot last. And you know, he was exactly right. He was exactly right with regard to what happened to the Shah just a few weeks later. He's right historically in terms of what happens, because those men, many of them inductees, are closest to the people on the street. They are the fathers and the sons and the brothers and the sisters of the people who are dying in the street, and they are most likely to be able to turn and resist supporting the government if they're having to kill their own people. We've seen it happen that way time and again. Now, those countries represented here, to include my own, are also critical to the equation. We cannot do what we did in 2009, which is exhibit a lack of moral courage and an indecision and sit on our hands. Good people died in the streets in 2009, and we did nothing. I honestly think they were that close. But the lack of support from other nations in America, in Europe, in the Middle East, caused those people to feel very much alone, and in the end, they lost. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish for you that the gods of freedom-loving people everywhere support your efforts. I encourage you, your objective should be the overthrow of those ayatollahs who have created a dark period in Iranian history. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. You know, the 3,200 people who were in Ashraf before the attack in 2009 had many friends, and you've heard from many friends from America and other countries. But in America, we had a small working group of about 10 people. Governor Ridge, who you'll hear from later, General McCasey, Louis Freeh, head of the FBI, Rudy Giuliani, Howard Dean, a number of generals, General Shelton, General Casey, General Conroy, and we worked for 7 years to try to get the Ashraf people free out of Iraq. Now I want to talk a little bit to the people of Ashraf who are now in Albania and to all of you. This was a difficult fight. When we took over, the MEK was on the terror list. Nobody wanted to touch anybody from the MEK. No country was reaching out and saying, bring your people here, regardless of what was happening in Iraq, because we believed in those people. We believed in their goodness. We believed in their talent. We believed in their energy. We believed that they could be the cornerstone to building a free Iran. And now, the next step is to free Iran. And you all know, down deep, that regime change is up to the people of Iran. And that means you. That means the people who are in Albania. That means Iranian dissidents all around the globe. That means Iranian dissidents in Iran, in Tehran, in all of the different cities. But the United States has to stand firm and stand behind this movement. And I believe we will. Not only will we because we do believe in freedom. And we do admire people who fight for their freedom, who are willing to die for their freedom. We'll stand behind you because it's also in our self-interest. Because what will a free Iran ruled by Madame Rajavi mean to the Middle East? It'll mean peace and security. It'll mean an end to extremism. It'll mean an end to Iran being a hotbed for terrorism. It'll mean that women will no longer be persecuted. It will mean that Iranians, women and men, will have the right to vote. It means that Iran will have an open society that understands its religious heritage, but also understands that religion can't be the sole driver of the government. As mayor of Philadelphia, I had the great opportunity to take a great American city that was on its back and turn its destiny around, and that was wonderful. As governor, I had the chance, by signing my name on a bill that raised the minimum wage $4,000 a year, I gave over 400,000 people a $4,000 a year raise. I put in a bill that made sure that every child in Pennsylvania was covered by health care. Every child in Pennsylvania. Those were all wonderful accomplishments. But in my public career, I have never felt a better feeling than knowing that my work and my energy somehow contributed in some small part to getting the people of Ashraf out of Iraq to safety. I've never felt prouder of anything I've done in my public career. And I want to, this was its own reward. To see those faces on the screen tonight, that's its own reward. You don't have to thank me. It's wonderful. It's a great feeling. And we are a freedom-loving people. And when Madame Rajavi went over and placed that sign near the memorial saying the price of freedom, well, in Washington Square Park in Philadelphia, there's a park called Washington Square Park. There are 2,000 dead colonial American soldiers under the ground in Washington Park. And there's a monument, and it says, "Here lies evidence that the price of freedom isn't free." We all know that. Americans died for their freedom, but so did members of the MEK. And I pledge to you today, and if Madame Rajavi is watching this on television, I want her to understand that Americans, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Progressives, Americans from red states, blue states, we all stand behind her because all Americans have one thing in common. We know we fought for our freedom. We know our freedom was precious. We know it takes sacrifice. We know it takes courage. And we're behind you because you're fighting for all the same things. Thank you.
Willkommen. Wir sind heute hier, wir die deutsche Delegation, weil wir Ihnen unsere Solidarität ausdrücken wollen. Wir wollen Sie unterstützen in Ihrem Ziel zu einem freien, zu einem demokratischen Iran. Und wir bringen unsere Solidarität zum Ausdruck mit dem unermüdlichen Einsatz Ihrer Präsidentin, Frau Rajavi, für Ihre Ziele. Für Freiheit, für Frieden, für Gerechtigkeit. Religiöser Extremismus führt zu Unterdrückung, zu unendlichem menschlichem Leiden, zu vielen Opfern. Und religiöser Extremismus, der begründet Hass, der spaltet Gesellschaften. Und im Iran, da sehen wir das Ergebnis. Da sitzen viele Menschen unschuldig im Gefängnis unter entwürdigenden Bedingungen. Und dennoch sind viele Menschen so mutig und drücken ihre eigene Meinung aus, obwohl sie dieser Gefahr ausgesetzt sind. Sie lassen sich nicht mundtot machen im Iran. Sie bringen mutig zum Ausdruck, dass es Folter, dass es Mord, dass es Ungerechtigkeit gibt. Und sie wollen eins, sie wollen endlich ihre Meinung frei sagen. Sie alle wollen ungefährdet ihre Meinung frei sagen können. Aber die Realität ist im Iran eine andere und hat sich auch durch die Wahl nicht verändert. Leider in keinem einzigen Punkt. Und deshalb gibt es Menschenrechtsverletzungen. Deshalb gibt es Todesstrafen, auch in diesem Jahr mit die höchste Zahl an Todesstrafen, die vollstreckt worden sind. Aber wir wollen hier Ihnen auch sagen, politischer Extremismus führt eben auch zu Terrorismus, der in viele Demokratien gebracht werden soll und gebracht wird, um eben gerade die Demokratien insgesamt zu destabilisieren. Und dem wollen wir mit aller Macht entgegentreten. Gegenüber dieser Form des Extremismus, da gibt es keine Toleranz, da gibt es auch kein Verständnis. Aber lassen Sie mich eins noch sagen. Nur mit Waffengewalt wird es auch keine friedliche Zukunft geben können. Wir brauchen gerade auch eine andere Kultur. Eine Kultur des toleranten, des friedlichen Islam. Gerade alle die ihre Meinungen nicht so kundtun können, gerade die das wollen, die keinen religiösen Fanatismus wollen, denen müssen wir viel stärker ihre Stimme geben, damit unser gemeinsames Ziel erreicht werden kann. Frieden und Freiheit.
Dear friends, liebe Freunde, liebe, die ihr mit Macht hier anwesend seid, Menschen können Berge versetzen. Und ich glaube an die Veränderung durch und mit Menschen. Das ist meine Hauptüberzeugung, die möchte ich Ihnen auch heute hier weitergeben. Geben Sie bitte nie auf, wenn Sie von etwas überzeugt sind. In dieser Welt von Terrorismus, wir haben nie so viele Kriege gehabt gleichzeitig, die größte Massenwanderung erzwungenermaßen in der Welt. Und da passiert es, dass ein Land, was selbst eigentlich noch mehr Ressourcen braucht, die aufnimmt, die in Not sind. Da sehen Sie, es gibt Menschen, die fragen nicht, ob das opportun oder nicht opportun ist, sondern sie nehmen sie auf, weil sie in Not sind. Und ich muss Ihnen sagen, wir danken ganz, ganz herzlich, dass dieses Völkchen das getan hat, was Menschen in guter Haltung tun, den anderen in Not helfen. Und ich kann Ihnen nur sagen, liebe Aschrafaner, die ihr jetzt eure Herberge selbst Aschraf genannt habt, wart ja zum Schluss in Liberty, ihr habt nicht umsonst gelitten. Und auch all diejenigen, die wir verloren haben in dieser Zeit, können sagen, wir sind ein Stück weitergekommen. Danke. Und dann möchte ich sagen, ihr habt eine weibliche Führerin, Madame Rashabi. Aber das ist ja ungewöhnlich. Das ist eine Frau mit Haltung, ganz ungewöhnlich, die Menschen nicht allein hat, lässt, die Würde verteidigt und führt. Und sie auch weiterführen wird. Denn anzunehmen, Demokratie brauchte keine Führung, das ist ein Irrtum. Es geht um Beteiligung der Bürgerinnen und Bürger. Und sie hat eigentlich, was betreibt sie im Islam? Aufklärung, dass jeder Mensch grundlegende Rechte hat. Dass Religion und Staat getrennt sind. Dass sie auch für den heutigen Tag erhofft, dass Muslime, Christen, Juden in ihren differenzierten Formen friedlich miteinander leben. Sie tritt für eine friedliche Befreiung des Irans ein und das sollten wir, wo immer wir können, verfolgen. Denn ich möchte einfach Ihnen sagen, ich bewundere diese Frau und bin überzeugt, es ist gut, dass selbst eine Muslimin wagt, den anderen zu sagen, wir sind Menschen, wir sind gleichberechtigt. Wir haben einen Verstand und ein Herz, mit dem kämpfen wir. Und mit dem kämpfen Sie bitte weiter in einer Welt voller Ungerechtigkeiten. Ich bin überzeugt, so wie es in Polen geschehen ist mit Solidarność, wie es in anderen Ländern geschehen ist und noch geschehen muss. In Afrika erleben wir ähnliche Verhältnisse, auch schon im Nahen Osten. Und ich sage Ihnen, wir werden obsiegen, wenn wir geschlossen sind und gemeinsam für eine bessere Welt kämpfen. Das wünsche ich uns.
زالیانی است این وطن از عمق درد، پرچمی افراشته در یک نبرد. هر کجای این پرچم از دستی فتاد، دست دیگر برگرفت و ره گشاد. شعله از خاکستر ستارها خواست در هر بیشه بیدارها. کوچکی از جنگلی برخاست زود، باز خونش برف را گلگون نمود. رگ رگ آمد خون شورش همچو رود، پیشوایی چون مصدق ره گشود. باز جنبش را فرو کشتند و باز، تا که سر زد اختران پیشتاز.
همگی هم بسته، عزمشان هرچه که بنبست به راه بگسسته. شور این نظم رهایی به وطن غوغا کرد، همه جا ارتش آزادی ایران را برپا کرد. چشمه از شهر فدا، شهر صداقت اشراف، شهر جانبازی و پیکار شهادت اشراف. اشرفی بکنون گشت دارم هر سوی، در زمستان وطن روح بهارم هر سوی. اینک از قلب هران اشرفی آید آواز، پیز ایرانی بر خاک ستم پیز بتاز. تیره درم ستمها به گاه ما کنون سر زد خوابار. عجب شوری در خشم طلایه، پیا پیا درفش و برق و دندار. بدانین از بیروز است ایران، از ایران خلق بهروز است ایران. بخیزید و بپیوندید یاران، به مقصد روز نوروز است ایران.
A couple moments ago, I was walking outside. I had a brief conversation with a woman who has lost 6 family members in the struggle for a free Iran. It's an extraordinary and a very personal reminder as to why we are all here together. And it's an honor and a privilege for all of us to join you in this cause. We join you in solidarity to raise our voice in support of a free Iran, regime change, and certainly the strong and inspirational leadership of Madame Rajavi. Only the light of liberty can overcome and replace the darkness of the tyrannical Iranian regime. That light of liberty, ignited and sustained by the martyrs, by the men and women of Ashraf and Liberty, and those who've managed to survive that terror and now in Albania. The poet, patriot, and human rights advocate Semen Behbahani envisioned the new Iran and the end of the darkness when she wrote, "My country, I will build you again, if need be, with bricks from my life. I will build columns to support your roof, if need be, with my bones. I will inhale again the perfume of flowers favored by your youth. I will wash away the blood off your body with torrents of my tears. And once more, the darkness will leave the house. The darkness will leave the house with a free Iran." I have been privileged to be with you in this cause for nearly a decade. And when I think of your passion, your courage, and your sacrifice, I'm constantly drawn to the words of the Declaration of Independence of my own country. It enshrines a universal truth, universal rights, rights given to you, not by government, given to me, not by man, but by divine law, by human law, by natural law. We are all created equal, and we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among them are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. These universal truths, these rights are the aspirations of the Iranian people. They need not the Declaration of Independence of my country. They seek to live that in their own country. They have been rejected, denied, and crushed by the repressive Iranian regime. The stagnation, the subordination of the Iranian people must end. The support of terrorism through the mullahs must cease. There's only one popular, organized, magnificent-led organization that can provide the democratic alternative to the existing regime. Only one group with proven leadership. Only one group with an exciting and clear vision for the future of Iran. A group led by an inspiring Muslim woman who mirrors the aspirations of the Iranian people, who seek a secular republic with gender equality, respect for human rights, and peaceful coexistence with its neighbors. A new Iran, a force for good, for human rights, for stability, and for peace. A new Iran, so that someday the spirit of freedom, a Persian spring, will erupt through a regime change led by you, by the martyrs who have preceded you, under the leadership of Madame Rajavi. I join with you, and we need to join the entire global community to raise their voices, sustain their voices, call throughout the international community. We want a free Iran.
Alors que l'Europe vit dans sa propre chair la violence aveugle de l'extrémisme islamique, alors qu'elle est la victime d'attentats terroristes à Paris, à Londres, en Allemagne, nous sommes tous convoqués à réfléchir à nos responsabilités face à un obscurantisme religieux qui prétend faire peau neuve. Que pouvons-nous faire? Que devons-nous faire? La communauté musulmane est assurément la première victime de ce terrorisme, car c'est sa croyance religieuse, partagée par 1,5 milliard d'êtres humains, qui est prise en otage. Faire la différence entre le véritable islam et l'extrémisme islamique n'est pas chose évidente, d'autant plus que le terrorisme islamique se réclame comme étant le seul et l'authentique interprète du Dieu de l'islam. L'islam vrai, le véritable islam, est donc au mieux tenu à distance, sous l'œil méfiant de l'opinion publique du monde libre. Or, pour faire échec à ce terrorisme religieux, les mesures sécuritaires ou les actions militaires ne seront pas suffisantes, car il nous faut aller à la source, à l'origine historique de ce fléau. Et cette origine, c'est la révolution iranienne de 1979. Ce sont eux, les intégristes iraniens, qui ont les premiers instauré un modèle basé sur le pouvoir absolu du guide suprême religieux. Bien avant al-Baghdadi à Mossoul ou Raqqa, Khomeini avait déjà édicté depuis Téhéran des fatwas appelant à l'assassinat d'écrivains et d'intellectuels en Europe accusés de blasphème. La République de Khomeini préconisait l'exportation de l'intégrisme religieux et l'unification politique du monde musulman dans un califat bien avant que ne le fasse Daesh, avec des méthodes tout aussi cruelles. La dictature iranienne s'est dotée d'un instrument de propagation mondiale du terrorisme religieux, les passes d'Aran. C'est avec eux, à travers eux, grâce à eux, que l'Iran a soutenu le Hezbollah libanais, les Houthites yéménites, d'obédience chiite, mais aussi les organisations sunnites, telles qu'Al-Qaïda ou les talibans. Daesh doit aussi être considéré comme un produit de la politique iranienne, qui a habilement manœuvré chez ses alliés, la Syrie et l'Irak, pour mettre en liberté les chefs de file de ce qui deviendrait par la suite Daesh. Le but de l'Iran était de faciliter la création d'une force d'opposition en Syrie qui leur serait idéologiquement proche et diviserait l'opposition à Bachar el-Assad en paralysant les soutiens en provenance de l'Occident. Or, malgré cette politique d'expansion tout azimut, c'est dans son propre territoire que le régime des mollahs a rencontré la résistance la plus farouche. Les moudjahidines du peuple d'Iran est la seule organisation d'opposition qui ait survécu à la politique d'extermination des mollahs. Ce mouvement est un mouvement de résistance par des musulmans pour les musulmans, qui a réussi à dévoiler et à mettre à nu l'islam dénaturé des mollahs. Sa force sereine, la force sereine de ce mouvement de résistance est représentée par une femme que nous aimons et que nous admirons tous pour son courage et son intelligence.
Myriam Rajavi. C'est elle, avec l'appui de vous tous, de la résistance de milliers d'Iraniens et d'Iraniennes, qui est en passe de devenir la véritable force antiterroriste dont nous avons besoin. C'est elle, avec vous, qui est la véritable alternative démocratique pour et par les musulmans d'Iran, et c'est elle et vous qui êtes l'exemple pour les musulmans libres du monde entier. Si nous sommes ici réunis aujourd'hui, c'est pour démontrer l'union et la force qui se galvanisent autour de Myriam Rajavi, entourée de l'amitié du monde entier dans sa plus grande diversité, car nous représentons, chacun de nous, tous ici, toutes les races, toutes les cultures, toutes les religions du monde, car nous sommes convaincus que c'est cette union qui est notre meilleure stratégie pour mettre fin au terrorisme international des mollahs. Nous sommes ici réunis car nous sommes certains que la résistance iranienne, avec son fer de lance, sous le leadership de Myriam Rajavi, est mûre pour prendre la relève grâce à son organisation, à ses compétences, à son appui populaire en Iran pour changer le cours de l'histoire au nom de la liberté, de la fraternité et de l'égalité dans le monde.
Bravo et merci Ingrid. Ingrid, c'est le message d'espoir d'une survivante, d'une héroïne. Et c'est la raison pour laquelle moi j'accueille toujours avec beaucoup de bonheur et de joie les témoignages qu'elle peut faire vis-à-vis de la résistance iranienne. Chers amis, c'était le 24 août dernier, dans les longs couloirs de la mairie du 2e arrondissement à Paris, des milliers de photos, des jeunes étudiants, des femmes enceintes, des adolescentes. Ce sont les martyrs héroïques du massacre de 30 000 prisonniers politiques à l'été 1988, abattus de sang-froid. Ce fut un crime contre l'humanité. Soudain, dans ces couloirs de la mairie du 2e arrondissement de Paris, on entendit une voix, celle d'un haut responsable de cette tuerie, l'aveu du crime. Il est encore vivant, membre éminent du régime de Rouhani, car l'impunité perdure, les exécutions de masse aussi. Au nom de ces martyrs, il n'y aura pas de paix sans justice. Alors ne vous découragez pas. Déjà, lors du simulacre d'élection présidentielle qui vient de se tenir, leur souvenir, le souvenir des 30 000, est remonté jusque dans les discours de Rouhani et de ses amis conservateurs. Voilà maintenant qu'ils s'accusent mutuellement d'être responsables de ce crime. Mais cette commission de la mort qui déclencha ce massacre, ils en étaient tous membres, y compris ceux qui se disent aujourd'hui réformistes. Ils pensaient vous abattre, ils vous ont renforcé en vous disséminant dans le monde, de l'Albanie à la France, de la Suède à l'Amérique. Partout, les ashrafiens poursuivent, disciplinés, enthousiastes, le combat de leur vie. Tant que les tyrans continueront à régner sur Téhéran, il nous faudra nous dresser contre la barbarie. Demander justice, obtenir qu'ils soient traînés devant les tribunaux. Il paraît que cette manifestation de Villepinte inquiète le pouvoir iranien. Le gouvernement français ne doit pas céder au chantage. La France ne doit pas troquer ses valeurs contre un accord nucléaire ou un accord financier qui seront de toute façon inefficaces. Alors continuons. Continuons à demander justice, liberté, démocratie. C'est encore une fois ce que nous réclamons. Au cours des 4 premières années de mandat de Rouhani, l'Iran continue à détenir le sordide record du plus grand nombre d'exécutions par habitant. Le simulacre d'élection présidentielle pour conduire Rouhani à la tête du pays n'y changera rien. Il n'est ni réformiste ni modéré. Et l'espoir est de notre côté. Parce que le régime se fissure, sous pression. Les factions du régime se combattent. Et on a vu durant ce scrutin les portraits de Myriam Radjavi dans les rues de Téhéran. Et la résistance gagne du terrain. Partout, les cellules de résistance s'activent. L'édifice, j'en suis sûre, finira par s'écrouler de lui-même. Mais il a besoin de nous, de la communauté internationale. Il a besoin d'un changement. Le monde doit sortir du cynisme affairiste. Le monde doit sortir des illusions du nucléaire. Rien n'est à attendre d'un tel régime. Même les hommes d'affaires n'ont plus confiance. Comment faire confiance à un système économique tenu par des milices? Le peuple ne profite toujours pas de la soi-disant ouverture internationale du régime. Ne perdons pas de temps. Ce temps qui nous coûte si cher en vie humaine. Chacun a vu que l'élection démocratique n'avait rien, l'élection présidentielle n'avait rien de démocratique. Où est la démocratie quand les candidats ont dû être approuvés par le guide suprême? Où est la démocratie quand le choix est entre des criminels, des démagogues et des autocrates? Où est la démocratie quand la peur, l'intimidation et le chantage règnent partout? Madame Radjavi, la résistance a votre visage, votre voix et votre détermination. La résistance est une femme. Et l'Iran a besoin de vous. Et vous avez besoin du monde. Puissions-nous être encore plus nombreux, plus déterminés pour conduire cet indispensable changement. Nous le devons à ce grand peuple iranien, l'une des plus brillantes, l'une des plus vieilles civilisations que le monde ait portées. Nous le devons aux milles d'Ashraf. Nous le devons aux milliers de martyrs. Nous le devons aux femmes qui luttent en Iran pour leur liberté. Nous le devons à cette magnifique jeunesse iranienne qui, à son tour, porte fièrement, bravement le drapeau de la résistance. Nous le devons à vous tous, nous le devons au genre humain au nom de sa dignité. Merci beaucoup.
و سلام بر همه شما رزمندگان راه آزادی و رهایی. در این فرصت کوتاه به دو نکته به طور خیلی خلاصه اشاره می کنم. اول اهمیت رویداد 30 خرداد سال 1360. رویداد 30 خرداد سال 1360 نقطه عطفی در تاریخ جنبش ضد استبداد دینی است. رژیم بنیادگرای اسلامی با گلوله بستن تظاهرات مسالمت‌آمیز مردم، دستگیری، شکنجه و اعدام اعضا و هواداران نیروهای انقلابی و آزادیخواه و به طور خاص نیروهای سازمان مجاهدین خلق ایران را شروع کرد. هدف خمینی از این کشتار این بود که با کشتن آزادیخواهان و روشنفکران و به طور کلی نخبگان جنبش روحیه تسلیم و زندگی در خفت و خواری را به مردم ایران تحمیل کند. از جهت دیگر خمینی با ادامه جنگ ضد مردمی سیاست صدور ارتجاع را دنبال می‌کرد. در مقابل این دو سیاست راهبردی رژیم، جنبش مقاومت با تمام وجود ایستادگی کرد و بدیل دموکراسی، آزادی، عدالت اجتماعی و صلح را قرار داد. مردم ایران با قیام 30 خرداد سال 1388 راهکار 30 خرداد سال 1360 را ادامه دادند. از 30 خرداد 60 تا 30 خرداد 1388 هزاران زن و مرد آزادیخواه و مبارز به شهادت رسیدند که امروز یاد و خاطره آنها را گرامی می‌داریم. خانواده‌ها و همرزمان آن شهدای پر افتخار اکنون دادخواه خونهای ریخته شده آنان هستند که نکته دوم صحبت من است. جنبش دادخواهی بخشی از جنبش ضد دیکتاتوری و نقش مهمی در رسیدن ایران به آزادی، دموکراسی و صلح خواهد داشت. ما همگان وظیفه داریم که از این جنبش حمایت کنیم. سازمان چریک‌های فدایی خلق ایران عضو شورای ملی مقاومت ایران با تأکید بر رویداد 30 خرداد 1360 به عنوان نقطه عطفی در جنبش رهایی بخش مردم ایران بر اهمیت جنبش دادخواهی مادران و جنبش مقاومت زندانیان سیاسی در سیاهچال‌های رژیم تأکید کرده و از این جنبش حمایت می‌کند. ما هم صدای بی صدایان هستیم. پیروز باشید.
Madame Rajavi, friends, it is... Thank you. Madame Rajavi, friends, it is a distinct honor and privilege for me to join you in the fight for freedom and in the fight against religious fascism. The people of Iran demand and deserve better than the brutal repression that they face at the hands of the mullahs in Tehran. Friends, I believe that it is imperative that we speak with moral clarity because the terms of political discourse matter. And I am so proud that the government that I served in as foreign minister in Canada spoke with great moral clarity. We labeled the entire Iranian regime as a state sponsor of terrorism. We kicked the mullahs. We kicked the mullahs spokesman out of Canada. We shut down our embassy and we ended diplomatic relations with this regime. Friends, the money that this regime spends on terrorism, on military interference in the countries in the region, the money they spend on their nuclear program is money that is being stolen from the Iranian people, and they want it to stop. Increasingly, the good news is, the West is abandoning the failed policies of engagement, of accommodation, and of appeasement. These policies have failed the Iranian people in their struggle for freedom. Friends, we must also put the lie to the myth that Rouhani and company are moderates. Look at their record. 1,800 executions. Increased support for terrorism in the region and beyond. Brutal military support against Iran's neighbors. And responsibility for crimes against humanity in Syria. Rouhani has supported and has been a leader in this regime for 38 long years. We must speak out. We must speak out strongly against the legitimacy of the recent elections. They are a farce. They are a sham. Friends, they are a fraud. Only friends and supporters of the regime were able to stand for election, and no women were allowed to run for president. Instead of engagement, accommodation, and appeasement, there is a better way. The time has come for the Iranian people to take charge of their own future, the time has come for regime change in Iran. The crowd at this rally today is the best indication of the desire for the Iranian people to seek a new path. Let freedom-loving people everywhere support the aspirations of the Iranian people. And in conclusion, I'd like to acknowledge the courageous leadership of all of you in this hall today, and especially the courageous leadership of Madame Rajavi. Thank you for your courage. And next year, let's meet in Tehran. Free Iran!
Yes, free Iran is right. Mrs. Rajavi, honored guests, and most of all you, supporters of the MEK and of freedom in Iran. In the last year since we gathered here, I think it's fair to say that we are grateful for what's happened. In a sense, we're in an entirely new and better place. And just so that everybody understands who I mean when I say we are in a better place, I mean everybody who wants to see regime change in Iran in general and MEK in particular. In May, the United States and the Arab states in the Middle East held a historic summit meeting in Riyadh, where the United States joined many others in abandoning the policy of hallucinating goodwill in the Iranian regime, and where it recognized, in the words of President Trump, that the Iranian regime's longest suffering victims are its own people. Although we're in a better place, I think it's no exaggeration to say that now comes the hard part. Now comes the part where other countries must combine to delegitimize the Iranian regime, to isolate it internationally, to designate the IRGC as what it is, a terrorist organization. And to take other steps that will bring about the pressure, both from inside and from outside Iran, to get rid of the mullahs. The best way for both Iranians and non-Iranians to do that is to align with the Iranian resistance, so as to make it clear to the oppressed citizens of Iran that the world's quarrel is not with Iran, but with the mullahs who have subjugated Iran. The PMOI members within Iran have provided both an example and a tool with their daring publicity campaign within Iran, urging regime change and posting photos of Mrs. Rajavi and slogans opposing the clerical regime. They've been writing slogans on walls to support this gathering. It's up to us to assure that the energy behind that effort remains focused on the goal of regime change. Now that Arab states, including the premier Sunni state of Saudi Arabia, are focused on the danger from Iran, we must join together with them and with the entire civilized world in changing the uncivilized regime in Iran, in Tehran, now that we have governments in power. Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed. Thank you, all of you. And thank you to our brothers and sisters in Tirana who are watching us tonight. You know, it's a great honor and a great privilege to be here with you, to be with my colleagues, Tom and Michael, the other delegates from all the countries, but here particularly this year to congratulate you and thank Madam Rajavi for the freedom and the life-saving gift your brothers and sisters have received and are enjoying tonight for the first time. So I visited them a few months ago, and I brought with me my oldest son. And what struck me immediately was their spirit and their strength, how in a very short time they had begun transforming their temporary quarters in Albania as they transformed Camp Liberty. And the flowers are important because the flowers in the worst days at Ashraf and Liberty were taken care of and tended, and they were growing again when I visited your brothers and sisters in Albania. My son My son talked to a lot of your colleagues and friends. I talked to a lot of our brothers and sisters. Many of them told us the stories we had heard and read about, but never delivered with the emotion and the direct experience of the people that we met. And my son, when we left, he said, "Dad, these people are really heroes." And you are all heroes. And most importantly, your leader, Madam Rajavi, is a great hero through the darkest days. And I was thinking about several years ago during the 29 different attacks in Ashraf and then later at Liberty. Madam Rajavi stood so strong and so true and made very, very difficult life and death decisions, moving to Liberty, what to do once we got to Liberty, negotiating the safe passage and resettlement. Madam Rajavi, you not only embody the democratic principles of a free Iran, but you are a wonderful and charismatic leader in crisis. So this year you are closer than ever to achieving your goal. And although we look back briefly, we also look ahead. But when we look back, we're approaching the anniversary, as you heard, of our independence. Remember, during the struggle in the Revolutionary War, a small, ragged army spent a winter that nobody thought it would survive in Valley Forge. In many ways, the heroism and the survival of the freedom-loving brothers and sisters in Liberty and Ashraf has given the movement now the opportunity to reach its final goal. So we thank them for their survival and their heroism. What we need now is more momentum. We need a final push that will come from freedom-loving governments and people all over the world. When I was back in the FBI in 1997, we learned one day that the State Department and the White House had put the PMOI on the terrorism list, which was news for us since we were in the FBI and we were supposedly in charge of counterterrorism. Years later, the Secretary of State removed the organization from the list under great pressure, not voluntarily, pressure from you, from friends, and from the United States court. Now we are poised to achieve the final outcome, and the final outcome is what all of this has been about: the suffering, the death, the destruction, to find a free Iran and to have a democratic alternative to the regime in Tehran. You are that democratic alternative. And you will prevail because you never, never have given up, and the end is in sight. Thank you, and God bless you.
Good evening, friends, not only gathered in Paris, but around the world. We're all gathered here to bring forward that great day when Iran will be free. What do we want? When do we want it? I'm Bob Blackman, Member of Parliament in the United Kingdom. I have spoken up in the UK Parliament on many occasions on behalf of Iran. I'm delighted to have many friends who are Iranian by birth but exiled from their own country. I'm looking forward to the great day when democracy and freedom is returned to Iran. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege of introducing some very important people from across the world who've come to give their support to you today. The first distinguished guest is Sid Ahmed Ghazali, who is the former Prime Minister of Algeria. Sid.
Ce meeting me renvoie à il y a 14 ans. Et depuis 14 ans, j'ai l'honneur de participer à ce meeting tous les ans. Et certains d'entre vous, j'en reconnais quelques-uns, étaient là il y a 14 ans. Mais combien étaient-ils? 5 000? 6 000? Et chaque année, j'ai vu le nombre de participants augmenter chaque année, chaque année, chaque année. Et depuis 2015, vous étiez 100 000. 100 000. Je ne connais pas beaucoup d'organisations à travers le monde qui est ancrée dans la population au point de mobiliser 100 000 personnes à l'extérieur, des exilés. Et cela me renvoie à 1980, où Massoud Rajavi tenait des meetings à Téhéran qui rassemblaient 500 000 Iraniens. Il y a 20 ans, je vois que de chemins parcourus, que de chemins parcourus, que de difficultés vécues, mais que de victoires et de réussites assurées par la résistance iranienne. Il y a 20 ans, il y avait dans le monde occidental une petite poignée de gens qui connaissaient le CNRI et l'OMPI. Et puis, le nombre de partisans et de supporters de la cause iranienne est allé en augmentant, et maintenant, c'est l'écrasante majorité des parlements européens dans 28 États, du Canada et des États-Unis qui sont du côté de la résistance iranienne. Il y a 20 ans, l'administration US avait inscrit l'organisation des Moudjahidines du peuple dans la liste des organisations terroristes. Et c'était, disait-il, pour apaiser le régime des mollahs. Les Occidentaux n'ont pas pu éviter de recommencer l'erreur grave qui avait été faite en 1939 par le gouvernement français et le gouvernement britannique pour aller à Munich et pour apaiser Hitler. On n'apaise pas les dictateurs. Et la preuve, c'est que pour gagner la paix, deux puissances occidentales sont allées, au prix du déshonneur, gagner la paix. Et Winston Churchill, quand il a pris le pouvoir, et que l'Allemagne a déclaré la guerre à la Pologne, il a dit, vous vouliez la paix au prix de votre honneur, vous avez gagné le déshonneur et vous avez perdu la paix, vous avez gagné la guerre. Voilà, mes chers amis, cette organisation qui est la première victime du terrorisme des mollahs, c'est une grande injustice de l'avoir inscrite dans la liste des organisations terroristes. Et j'ai été parmi les centaines et centaines de personnalités politiques qui ont été les témoins des efforts considérables que l'OMPI, avec le soutien des juristes internationaux, avec le soutien de tous les parlementaires, a gagné la bataille juridique. Et en 2009, 2010, 2011, les 30 États européens, plus le Canada, plus les États-Unis d'Amérique, ont été obligés par leur propre justice, par la Cour européenne de justice, par les tribunaux britanniques, par les tribunaux français et par les tribunaux américains, de retirer l'organisation, un pays, de la liste des États ou des organisations terroristes. Ce qui fait que maintenant, au moment où nous sommes ensemble, il n'y a plus qu'un seul État qui continue à regarder l'OMPI, Moudjahidine Khalq, comme une organisation terroriste. Et cet État, c'est l'État terroriste des mollahs. Donc c'est une immense victoire. C'est une immense victoire, mais qui a coûté énormément de ressources à l'organisation. Et il est injuste que l'organisation qui a été la première victime, 120 000 militants de l'organisation OMPI ont été massacrés jusqu'à maintenant par le régime de W3A. Et l'année 88, sur une simple fatwa de Khomeini, 30 000 prisonniers politiques ont été massacrés en l'espace de 3 mois. Il faut arrêter la conspiration du silence. Le moment est venu maintenant de demander des comptes à ceux qui ont été les responsables durant ces 30 dernières années du massacre de 120 000 citoyens iraniens et des 30 000 qui ont été massacrés en 88. Et enfin, la dernière victoire, c'est la libération des habitants d'Ashraf. Les habitants d'Ashraf ont été entre 2008 et jusqu'à 2016 agressés tous les jours par le boycott, la torture, les attaques en blindés contre des mains nues, des gens qui étaient désarmés avec des centaines de morts, et nous sommes un certain nombre à avoir craint qu'ils allaient être éradiqués. Maintenant, on est sur la ligne droite. Maintenant que les ressources de l'OMPI sont libérées, il faut, comme l'a dit Madame Rajavi, Madame Mariam Rajavi, il faut passer à l'attaque. Et l'attaque, c'est la ligne droite qui doit mener directement à la libération du peuple iranien vis-à-vis de la dictature qui l'opprime. Voilà. Le chemin est difficile, mais nous sommes près de l'aboutissement. Nous sommes prêts.
Thank you so very much, my brothers and sisters. I know it's been a very long day for all of us, but every speech has meant so much to the people of Iran and to us who stand here supporting the people inside Iran and those of you who have spent your years fighting for the human rights of the people of Iran. You have been stalwarts, and for the 11 years that I've known your work as a parliamentarian, I want to thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you who has spent your life making sure that those voices that have fallen, that those people who have struggled for this fight inside of Iran have not been forgotten. Those women, those children, those men who are your brothers and sisters, our brothers and sisters. We are now traveling towards, I hope, a journey that is filled with inspiration and aspiration for every single person that is residing in Iran. Today, we are delivering hope, not for them, but for ourselves. Because we can see collectively, when we all join together and the world is on our side, that we can make a change. You have been the backbone of this discovery of humankind. Madam Rajavi has been the brilliant leader we all needed. I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to share your journey. I also want to thank the young people here today, the young energy that I feel in this room, that the fight continues with the next generation because they believe in the same things that you have all fought hard for. And I want to think of all those that have fallen, the thousands that have lost their lives. And for each life lost, there should be 1,000 roses that have sprung up to make sure that that fight continues until we get the outcomes that we all want to see. So my brothers and sisters, thank you very much for having me share this platform with you. And I hope to be here with you to the end. Thank you very much. Thank you.
با سلام و درود خدمت همه شما حضار گرامی، با درود بر پیشمرگان قهرمان سازمان خبات و مبارزان راه آزادی. امسال نیز با عزمی راسختر از گذشته در گردهمایی با شکوه اول ژوئیه حضور به هم رساندیم تا بار دیگر پیام قاطع خود و عزم جزم من برای برچیدن حاکمیت نامشروع آخوندی را به حکام دیکتاتور تهران برسانیم. سازمان خبات کردستان بیش از 36 سال بر تغییر ناپذیر بودن رژیم آخوندی تأکید کرده و سرنگونی این رژیم ارتجاعی را تنها راه رهایی مردم ایران می‌داند. رژیمی که نه تنها موجب مشکلات متعدد و مصیبت برای مردم ایران شده، بلکه عامل مشکلات در منطقه و جهان و منبع اصلی تروریسم بین المللی و تنش و آشوب در منطقه خاورمیانه و جهان می باشد. بیشک نکات ذکر شده بخش اندکی از جنایت پیشگی رژیم ایران می باشد، اما همین نکات باید موجب شود تا جامعه جهانی از مقاومت و مبارزه عادلانه مردم ایران علیه رژیم آخوندی پشتیبانی کنند و از جانب دیگر از هر گونه مباشات با آخوندها پرهیز نمایند. حضار گرامی، شکی نیست بقای این رژیم دیکتاتوری عواقب و تبعات زیانبار و آسیب‌های بیشتری را به ایران و کشورهای منطقه به دنبال خواهد داشت. سیاست مماشات با این رژیم بجز گستاخ‌تر نمودن سردمدارانش در ایجاد تنش و ویرانی چیز دیگری به دنبال نخواهد داشت. پس برای کمک به مردم ایران و برای سرنگونی حاکمیت خوناشام در ایران از همکاری با آخوندها خودداری نموده و نیروهای آزادی خواه و مبارز را حمایت معنوی نمایید. درود بر مبارزان راه آزادی و پیشمردان قهرمان و درود بر دوستان و قهرمانان در لیبرتی. با تشکر.
Dear friends, you are proud representatives of the Iranian people. You are proud fighters for freedom. We here, parliamentarians and politicians from Romania, we salute you for your great and noble endeavor. Free Iran! And you have a great leader, Madame Rajavi, who is a hope for the Iranian people. You know, to win the freedom, it's to defeat the fear. And I've seen you today here, fearless. You have no fear to win the freedom for the Iranian people. The rulers, the present rulers in Iran should know something. Without you, there isn't an Iran, a prosperous, a free, a proud Iran. No, without you, no way. You are the hope. You are the hope for millions and millions of people in Iran. And you have to bear this responsibility. I know what I'm speaking. Because about 27 years ago, we have conquered our freedom with the Romanian Revolution. It was a tragic one. Many people perished. It was a bloodshed. At the barricade, where I was, at the last moment when we were machine gunned by the dictatorship, out of the 81 who were there, myself included, 39 were killed by the bullets of the dictatorship. I hope from the bottom of my heart, that the Iranian transition to freedom and democracy to be peaceful. Because without peace, people cannot live properly. Beyond the life itself, freedom is the most precious possession of humans. You know that better than any. You know what is to fight for freedom. Well, it's time for you to build a new Iran. That's my hope. That's our hope. Build a new and prosperous Iran for the Iranian people. Thank you.
everybody. It's wonderful to see such enthusiasm at the end of a very long day. It's been a wonderful day for everyone here. And I'm happy to represent at this great gathering a delegation from the Irish Senate. And I bring warm wishes from former MEP and MP in Ireland, Jim Higgins, who is a very good friend to this organisation. On the 23rd of November last, a motion was tabled in the Irish Senate to condemn human rights violations and the brutal 1988 massacre of more than 30,000 political prisoners in Iran, and to support the efforts pursued by the NCRI and Mrs. Rajavi to end decades of atrocities in Iran, to support the 10-point plan for a future Iran that envisions a democratic, secular republic with the abolition of the death penalty and torture, as well establishing the rule of law and respect for the United Nations Charter. We wish you success in bringing about a democratic change to your country. We are very concerned that human rights abuses and executions continue today in Iran because of the impunity enjoyed by the Iranian authorities in the last 3.5 decades. Therefore, we have called upon the United Nations Human Rights Commissioner, the Human Rights Council, the General Assembly and the Security Council to order an investigation and bring the perpetrators of the 1988 massacre into justice. When we return to Ireland, we will also take steps to advise our government towards a foreign policy on Iran that is based on human rights of the Iranian people and justice. We have called on our government to condemn the 1988 massacre as a crime against humanity and to support the efforts of the Iranian people and the NCRI to make Mrs. Rajavi's 10-point democratic platform a reality in Iran. So we're here today to stress that we are on your side and that we hope, as much as you do, for a free Iran in the very near future. And we look forward to seeing you all next year, hopefully, in Tehran. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, dear brothers and sisters. It's such a privilege to be among you. I am alone, but I represent the biggest democratic parliament in the world, the European Parliament. And I brought a message to you, signed by 265 members of the European Parliament to support Iranian opposition. You know, we have for many years the group of Friends of Free Iran in the European Parliament. I am one of the vice presidents, and I am the only acting member of the European Parliament who has visited Ashraf. But we call in our document, which we have distributed and presented to you, to put revolutionary guards on terrorist lists because of the deeds, to call United Nations to investigate massacre of 30,000 political prisoners in 1988, to stop death penalties, and to support the 10-point program of Maryam Rajavi. Therefore, today, there's no excuse for continuing to cherish illusions about moderate dictators, ignoring their bloody hands. Realpolitik, pragmatic interests at the cost of principles have always failed, and it's the last utmost time for European politicians to learn this. Some days ago, a wonderful American politician, Nikki Haley, who represents US in Security Council, compared Iranian regime to a scorpion, who, despite nice promises to a frog, remains true to its murderous nature. It stings. And Iranian regime has supported another scorpion, the Assad regime. We must be clear about it in Europe. Today, there's no doubt anymore that the regime is creaking in all seams, that this collapse is imminent. I have seen the collapse of the Soviet Union now 26 years ago, and nobody believed in it that time. Now, today, there's no question whether the Iranian regime would collapse. The question is in time and the price, because every additional day of the rule of this regime means hundreds of lives, hundreds of people murdered, tortured, arrested. And we have to present the question, can we afford such a cost? Therefore today, the slogan is not as soon as possible, but sooner as possible. We can do it. And thank you. And my special thanks to all of you who have come here all around the world. It was difficult, but it is worthwhile. A special greetings to our family friends in Ashraf. I think the most wonderful thing I saw today was their smiles from Ashraf. Smiles, do we know at what cost? The cost of terror, the cost of threats, the cost of anguish, but these were victorious smiles. And with these smiles, we are going to win. Thank you.
داریم به پایان کهکشان میرسیم و میخواهیم آن را با پیام زندانیان سیاسی از سیاه‌چال‌های رژیم و پیام‌های دانشجویان و تمامی هموطنانمان به پایان ببریم تا خامنه‌ای بشنود و بداند که این مقاومت در اعماق زندان‌ها، خانه‌ها و قلوب تک تک ایرانیان جای گرفته است. زندانیان سیاسی از اوین، گوهردشت و زندان مرکزی تهران چه زیبا نوشتند ایرانی کوچک در بیلپن و گفتند کهکشان پیوسته تنین رعدی و تشعشع برقی است در آسمان بی‌عملی، یأس و سکون. زندانیان مقاوم دیگری از تهران تا زابل و زاهدان گفتند از همان کنج زندان خود را در میان جمع ما و همراه ما می‌بینند و خواستند در ویلپن فریادگر آنها باشیم. به ما گفتند با صدای هرچه رساتر آزادی ایران را در کهکشان فریاد کنید تا تنین پژواک صدای شما به گوش همه ایرانیان و به آن سوی دیوار زندانها در ایران نیز برسد. آرزو داریم که در این کهکشان توانسته باشیم که تنین صدای زنان سرکوب شده، کودکان کارگران، پرستاران، معلمان، کولبران زحمتکش کردستان و کارتونخوابها، گورخوابها و تمامی زندانیان و صدای مردم بیگناه سوریه باشیم و آن را مایه دلگرمی زندانیان مبارز دانسته باشیم و به عنوان حسن خطاب به زندانیان سیاسی بلوچ در زاهدان که از کهکشان حمایت کرده و گفتند به امید روزی که این اجتماعات در داخل کشور برگزار گردد میگوییم آن روز دور نیست. با تشکر.
با درود و سلام به هم میهنان عزیز که امروز در اقصا نقاط ایران و جهان نظاره‌گر کهکشان ما بودند. اولین کهکشان بعد از هجرت که پیاممان در آن این بود که مردم ایران تشنه تغییرند و آن را هر چه زودتر هم می‌طلبند. خواسته آنان انتخابات آزاد، آزادی بیان، آزادی اندیشه، آزادی اجتماعات، برابری زن و مرد، به رسمیت شناختن حقوق اقلیت‌های قومی ایران و آزادی بنیادین فردی مثل انتخاب آزاد پوشش و انتخاب آزاد مذهب است. در یک کلام خواسته آنها نه شاه و نه شیخ بلکه یک جمهوری مبتنی بر جدایی دین از دولت است. ما از شورای ملی مقاومت ایران به عنوان دیرپاترین ائتلاف تاریخ معاصر ایران و رئیس جمهور برگزیده مقاومت خانم مریم رجبی که نماد وحدت ملی ایران است حمایت می‌کنیم. این شورا تمامیت ایران را با تنوع آرا و عقاید و همه اقلیت‌های قومی و مذهبی نمایندگی می‌کند. در شرایطی که مردممان هر روز شکنجه و غارت می‌شوند و در درد و رنج و عذابند، برای تحقق این جمهوری حتی یک ثانیه را نباید از دست داد. پس همچنان که امروز با هم سروده ایم دوباره می‌خوانیم، با یکدیگر هم پیمانیم، ما از آزادی می‌خوانیم، در پیکاری بس شورانگیز با ضرباهنگی یکسانیم. بگذر از این مردابی‌ها، بال بگشا در آبی‌ها، باز ایران خواهد شد، پایان یابد بی‌تابی‌ها. هم صدا هم نفس بشکنیم این قفس، نغمه کن زنده باد ایران آزاد. مرگ بر اصل ولایت فقیه، درود بر رجبی، درود بر ارتش رهایی. حاضر حاضر حاضر.
سحرگاه روزی زود، خورشید رهایی، مهر تابان آزادی بر میهنمان ایران، این زیباترین وطن طلوع خواهد کرد. در آن زمان عطر شهیدان راه آزادی مردم ایران سرتاسر میهن را فرا خواهد گرفت و ما تمامی ما تا آن روز با یاد مجاهدان خلق، کبوتران خونین بال آزادی، با خاطره گوهر و ثریا و زهرا و صبا و محسن و داریوش و سعید و امیر و ندا و ستار و سهراب و اشکان و کیانوش از پای نخواهیم نشست. درود. با این عهد و پیمان ترانه پرشور و پرتنین حاضر حاضر را که زبان حال همه اشرفی ها و اشرف نشان هاست برای رزم های پیش رو تا تحقق ایران آزاد با هم می‌خوانیم. آری این فریاد مشترک همه ایرانیان است و ما برای نبرد هزار برابر و تکثیر اشرف هم صدا فریاد میزنیم: حاضر حاضر.
چو کوه سر به سر اوج خروشان تر از ما، همچو ابرها سبکبار بگویمت به تکرار، ز بند خویش رستیم و با تو عهد بستیم، یکان یکان صف کشیده در انقلاب آب دیده. رستیم و با تو بستیم، یکان یکان صف کشیده